Hello everybody, today we're going to be going over my death magic build here utilizing godslayer magic and death magic. So without further ado, let's see how it does on a boss. That didn't do what I wanted. Okay, it's not want to let me do anything, that's fine. Well, this is a damn travesty. Ooh. Fight of the century right here. Alright, we're going for it. No, we're not. This dude attacks fast, okay. We're learning. Ooh. Now that's pretty spicy. Okay, let's see if we can get it. Nope. What's that ability? Not bad. See if I can try to get him to run into it. Oh yeah, that's actually pretty good if you can get multiples to hit. Alright, we gotta finish him off with this. There it is. Alright, not bad. Some of these abilities are a wee bit too slow, that is for sure, but well, actually mainly just Death Lightning, but the rest of it, pretty sweet. Not bad, not bad, not bad. Gotta be a little bit more careful about how I cast that Death Lightning. But yeah, not too bad. Alrighty, hopefully you saw the power of that build. The lightning abilities were a little bit slow for my liking against that boss, but the rest of it wasn't too bad. So for the build, we're going to be running the Prince of Death staff. Now, if you're not familiar with where to get the Prince of Death staff, you have to go all the way through Nokron, get into Deep Ruth Depths, and then it's going to be in that area. Then Godslayer seal, you can pick this up pretty early. This just boosts Godslayer incantations, so I was using some Godslayer magic in there just for the 10% damage increase that this gives. So you get this in Stormveil Castle. So you'll be able to find this in Stormveil Castle, get that pretty early on. Unfortunately, to get to Nokron, to get the Prince of Death staff, you are going to have to have beat you're gonna have to have beat Radon in order to open up that area. So armor, Malekith. The only reason why I put this on is just because, you know, it's fitting for, you know, a bunch of death magic. So Silver Tear Mask, I always typically just wear this because it buffs up my arcane for if I use dragon incantations. But you can actually use, you know, like Imp Head gives you like another 2 faith. If you want to use this, you can get another 6 intelligence. You can get it's another 3 intelligence. 6 intelligence. You can use Lusats or Azures if you're wanting to mix in any of that stuff, but preferably probably this, since you're not going to be using their specific spells in this build. But yeah, there's options. So then I'm using the Fire Scorpion Charm, so this is going to be in fort laid over in Mount Gelmer, which I believe is right here. Yeah, so you're going to find Fire Scorpion Charm there. You will then find the Lightning Scorpion Charm inside of the Wyndham Catacombs. Now, you don't have to use the lightning magic. I think the lightning magic is probably the slowest, so you can swap it out for other stuff. Like hell, you could even swap it out for like Placid Sax's Ruin if you wanted to use a really, really sweet dragon incantation. So you can get rid of the lightning one. It's not necessarily 100% needed. You have a few different options. If you want to speed up the cast time of lightning, which is probably better, you could go for the Radagon icon. This gives you the equivalent of like 30 dex. So if you have 40 dex plus this, you're maxed out on your cast speed, as dexterity does increase your cast speed. Let's see, other options. Not really anything too crazy that I would recommend. You could try Ritual Sword, but you're not really using attack power, so yeah. Yeah, not really anything else I'd recommend aside from this Radagon icon, or I guess you could stack the Graven School Talismans. Just do something like that. You also could do, actually, Marika's Sword Seal if you want to give yourself a +5, but in order to get this, you have to get all the way to the Halig Tree, so this is kind of a pretty late game build. Or, well, that talisman is late game. Graven Mass Talisman, you also have to get pretty far. You'll find this in the Consecrated Snowfields over in Albernix Rise, right here. And then the Canvas Flock Talisman, which is the other one. It boosts my incantations. You're going to do that by doing the Millicent questline. And you have to get all the way to the end, and you have to choose to kill Millicent. And then you go back to the shack after you finish that whole questline. You kill Gowry, and you pick up that talisman. So yeah, not bad. But you are able to get, you don't have to have the Prince of Death staff early on if you're trying to do this. You can use something like the Meteorite staff, or if you have a high enough int, you could use the Carrion Regal Scepter. You get this from Renala. You get the Meteorite staff over in Caelid, so you can pick that up pretty early. One thing though is now the thing with the spells though for this is that most of them are actually going to be locked behind killing bosses. So just to kind of show it, so Ancient Death Rancor and Explosive Ghost Flame. This one you have to kill the Deathrite Bird in the Consecrated Snowfield. This one you have to kill the Deathrite Bird that's in Lerny of the Lakes. Deathrite Birds, they just spawn at certain places whenever it's nighttime. You can also get Fia's Mist. That's another interesting one. But in order to get this one, you have to defeat her champions. You have to pretty much clear Deep Root Depths and do that kind of quest line. Rancor Call, not really a huge reason to get Rancor Call because this is just a better version, and you can get this earlier because it happens. You can get it in Lernia of the Lakes. After that, you have Rykard's Rancor. So this one's pretty sweet if you can line it upright. Pretty good in AoE, I think, against like large groups of enemies. But you have to kill Rykard and trade in his Remembrance to get that. In order to get Malekith's Black Blade, you have to trade in his Remembrance. That means you have to be all the way to Crumbling Fair Mizulum to get that. Death Lightning, you have to trade in the Remembrance of the Lich Dragon, which means you have to clear out Deep Root Depths because you have to go kill Inia, and then you have to like re-go back in there and then kill the dragon. So pretty much all, and then I think Black Flame Ritual and then Noble Presence, I think, are the ones that I want to say you get Noble Presence in Mount Gelmer, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, killing the Godskin Noble at Volcano Manor gets you Noble Presence. And then I believe the Black Flame Ritual, all you have to do is find the Godslayer book in Stormvale Castle, and then you can just buy that one. So that's going to kind of be your early ones. Nope, I take that back. You get this from Spirit Caller Cave, which is not good because Spirit Caller Cave is in Mountaintop of the Giants. But that being said, there is some, you can get Black Flame, and I believe you can get Black Flame Blade and Black Flame's Protection from that book. So you can get some stuff early on in Stormvale. So you could definitely put this build together relatively quick if you went over here I believe the bird spawns somewhere around like right here at nighttime, so you can get the ancient death rancor, and then if you go get the stuff from Stormvale Castle, you could have a black flame / death build up and running decently early. And I mean, the spells are pretty good, so I would recommend. So for Spirit Ashes, I use the Mimic tier because Mimic tier is just a solid all-around one. And then since I'm using so much fire spells, I use the Flame Shrouded Crack tier. And I prefer the Opaline Bubble tier because I kind of like to just be able to stand there and blast. Another option is to run the Leaden Hard tier. Oh, what the heck am I doing? The other option is to run the Leaden Hard tier, which will give you poise. So like whenever I was casting that spell, I would imagine if I had a little bit more poise, maybe I would have been interrupted. You know, stuff like that. If you want to try to face tank, another one is the Cerulean Hidden tier. If you're finding you're having, you know, mana problems, you can go for that. So you get the negate damage one down here at this minor Erd tree. Kill the guy here to get that. The Flame Cracked Shrouded tier you get here. If you want to get the Cerulean Bubble tier, and I believe the Poise one is both right here. You have to kill an ulcerated tree spirit that's down by a minor Erd tree, so I think, which I believe might actually be right there. But I'll double check on that Leaden Hard tiers to make sure, because I could be wrong about that. Yeah, so you get the Leaden Hard tier and the Cerulean tier for beating the ulcerated tree spirit at Mount Gelmir. So you just kind of go to Mount Gelmir, wrap around. Don't go inside of Volcano Manor. You just keep wrapping around and going down, and that'll take you right to it. Alright, well, that's it. Hopefully this has been helpful and given you some good ideas for various builds you can do. This is New Game Plus 3, and I've been using this on a few different bosses, and it works like a charm. Thanks for watching.